Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Let's go ahead and get the question out of the way. Mr. Hoffman, why are you wearing a ridiculous hat with sunglasses on it upside down? That's because I'm recording this on Friday, and we did beach day for teachers on Friday. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get our writing lesson started. So this week, I hope you guys are excited. We're going to actually start planning and writing our stories. So you've put in all that hard work of your characters, setting up what you want them to be like, who you want them to be as a person, how you want them to act. You've gone through the work of trying to even imagine them and writing a scene. Checked off that you've gotten that all done. And now we're ready to move on to actually planning the stories these next couple days, and then starting to write the stories and write the different scenes of the whole complete story later this week. So today, our goal with our story writing is to think about what we've learned about the writing process so far, right? And hopefully one of the things you guys can recognize that you've learned is that it takes time and it takes a lot of thought, right? No author simply goes and starts writing down a story and finishing a book in one day. They take a lot of time to think about their characters and how things are going to fit, kind of like a puzzle at the beginning. And then once they have that all set up and they're ready to go, then they do that process of writing their story in paragraphs that go in with each other in sequence, right? So today we're looking kind of at that final piece of really the puzzle and planning the story and moving forward into being able to actually write that story. Okay, so I want us to go back and think about the story mountain that we talked about. If you guys remember at the very beginning of this unit, we learned about the story mountain, and we kind of talked about how there's a lot of different steps that go into writing a story and putting scenes together as far as like the plot and the setting and all that. So here we have at the very beginning, the first thing you want to do is introduce the characters. And so we're going to look at the example of the Three Little Pigs, because it's a story that a lot of us know, and it's fairly simple to go through the story plot of that. In the beginning, we're introduced to the characters, the big bad wolf, and then pig 1, 2, and 3, right? It just kind of sets up the story, tells us about where they are, what they're doing, and kind of what's going on in the story. That's the very beginning. So when you're writing your own story, you're looking at introducing your own characters and how you're going to set that up. Then we go up to what we call the rising action. This is where things are starting to kind of get worse. Maybe we've discovered there's a problem, and that problem is going to continue to get worse and worse as the story goes on. So we're looking at the rising action here as the wolf arrives at the first house, and then the second house, and he blows them both down, right? So he gets to the house made of straw, blows that down, huffs and puffs, blows it down. Then he goes to the house with sticks, huffs and puffs, blows it down. So we can see this problem developing. Okay, this wolf is ruining all of these pigs' houses. Then we get to our climax. This is where the story is at its highest peak. This is usually the most important part or the turning point of the story. So I'm going to put a little star right here. So the climax here is that the wolf arrives at the third house, which is made out of bricks. And now all three pigs are in this house. So we know if the wolf blows this house down, we're going to have a major problem, because there's all three pigs are there and there's nowhere else for them to go. So then you kind of start to have the falling action where the problem's fixed, right? So here we are, we're at our most nervous or most worried right here. Now we go to the falling action. What happens? The wolf huffs and he puffs. He can't blow down the house full of bricks. So the pigs are safe, right? And then our resolution, or the way the problem's solved, or the wrapped up, is that the pigs live happily ever after together in the brick house. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that with my own story, with planning my own story. So when I looked at the mountain, I thought about my character, Will, and what I needed to do first. So my first part of introducing Will, I'm going to go by that story. I'm going to tell that story that I had actually happened to me, where I dropped that tray in the cafeteria, but I'm going to do it with Will, imagining that Will went through this. My created character is going to go through this simple thing. So that event's going to happen in the beginning to kind of introduce Will as Clumsy and kind of help us get to know Will through the very beginning in that first scene. After that, my rising action is going to be that scene I wrote for you guys the other day, where he plays basketball at recess with his friends and he kind of blows the game, right? So we're starting to see this problem. Excuse me. We introduce Will as Clumsy at the very beginning. We have this little scene in the story. Then we go to this rising action where Will plays basketball at recess and he blows the game. It's like, okay, we're starting to realize now that Will is not, he just doesn't quite fit in. He's not quite that popular kid he wants to be. And he's picked on a little bit. Then we're going to get to this climax where this new kid moves in, and this new kid gets picked on by his classmates too. So now you have Will and this new student both here together. They're both kind of oddballs. They don't really quite fit in. They're getting picked on and things are kind of harsh to them. We're kind of wondering what's going to happen with Will and this new kid both being here now. Then the following action, Will and this new student, Derek, they're going to become good friends. And then in their process of becoming friends, they're going to invent their own game at recess, right? We're going to see earlier that Will plays basketball and blows the game. And he doesn't, like, it's not well received by his classmates. He kind of feels bad. They make him feel worse. So he quit. He's like, you know what? I like Derek, this new kid. We're going to invent it. They invent this new game at recess. And then the resolution at the end is these other kids are going to want to play. And Will and Derek, being kind kids that they are, and understanding what it felt like to get left out, are going to let those other kids join in as kind of the resolution to my story, right? This is all I'm doing over these next 2 days is really stopping to think. You might need to just take a minute today and think about, what do I need to do? What do I need to think about for my story, and how do I want it to all go about and happen and end? Or you may stop and think, okay, no, I'm ready, and you can go ahead and make your story mountain, but you're going to submit your story mountain tomorrow. I'm going to kind of show you guys ways to do it. So your job today and tomorrow is to plot your story mountain. Your story mountain is going to be due on Wednesday, tomorrow, all right? So you need to use both today and tomorrow to work on your ideas. So that means don't watch this lesson, then stop and don't do anything today, because we want to move into tomorrow already having done some work, so we don't have to do as much work tomorrow, and then turn it in tomorrow on Wednesday. There's a few ways that you can submit your assignment, all right? And I have them kind of pictured over here. One is you could draw something out on actual paper like this mountain right here and write the same steps we just did. If you can't remember them, go back and watch the video and you can kind of watch the different parts in my example. But you can do like take a piece of paper, draw a mountain and write things out, and then you can take a picture and show us, or you can record yourself on video and talk about what you wrote on each thing. Please, guys, if you record a video, don't just hold it up and pull it right back down, because sometimes it's hard for us to read it on the video and get it that fast. You could do a text entry where you could say introduction and then type out what your plan is for your introduction, rising action. So each step, climax, falling action, and resolution. So kind of like, I'm going to go back a slide, how I have like this actual plan on mine where I went through each thing. You're going to type introduction and you're just going to type what's going on. Rising action, you're going to type what's going on. So climax, so you could do it that way. And then the last thing is, you could kind of draw out your own mountain in your notebook and write your steps for your own mountain in your notebook, and then submit a picture, or you could record a video like we've done before, okay? So that is your job. Again, it's due tomorrow. So tomorrow you need to make sure you have your story mountain planned out for your steps of introduction, rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. We can't wait to see what you guys come up with. We're almost to the point where we're going to start putting these stories onto paper. So we're super excited. Good luck, guys. We can't wait to read them.